Alright, in this lesson, we're going to be discussing how to actually use joint constraints inside of Unreal.
Okay.
So let's get started. But wait.
But wait,
one
stop. No, go ahead. What's up?
The one thing we need to do first is, this is kind of a sloppy level.
Yeah, it is.
We just were doing tests and we put stuff everywhere, but it doesn't really look good.
What were you thinking when you put that together?
I don't know. But it looks kind of cool, I think.
Well, we're going to fix it anyway.
Alright, so let's delete some of these barrels. I know you had an attachment to them, but...
those barrels were so cool.
I know. Let's delete this larva that's kind of...
Will you at least save me a couple of them?
Okay, I'll save you one. How's that sound?
Works for me.
Alright. And let's actually duplicate this guy. I want them to have the same parameters.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute, you just deleted one. Why are you putting one back?
Yeah, I know. I'm confusing sometimes.
Sometimes. Okay.
Okay, sometimes. Just sometimes, Let's turn off grid snapping. Let's align these guys. I want them on top of each other enough so they don't fall off right when they're enabled.
Right.
So, actually, that's looking pretty good. Let's rebuild our level. Yeah, that's kind of nice. And let's go over to our weapon base.
Just get that out of the way of our soon-to-be door.
Our soon-to-be hallway.
Soon-to-be hallway, whatever.
I thought you were always right, man.
I am always right.
Okay.
It is a door to a hallway.
Okay. Just checking.
It is a very long door.
Oh, okay.
Some people just call it a hallway.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Let's move these barrels, just out of the way. Alright, to about there. Just
cool.
Enough room to collide with each other.
Alright.
Okay, so now our goal is to create a hallway, or a door, as Zach says.
Cool. Right
here. And so let's get started. So let's move this guy right over here. Let's turn on our grid snap.
Good old BSP brush.
Oh yeah. So let's change this to rebuild it. 256 by 256 by 256. So a fairly...
That's a cube.
That's a cube. That's a fact. Thank you, Zach, for pointing that out.
Just trying to help.
I know. So let's zoom out a little bit. Let's move that guy up a little bit. I want to have it's sort of on the side of the weapon base, excuse me.
Sure.
So let's turn off grid snapping again and move the weapon base just so it's on top of the floor. And let's cut this guy out. So, right there.
Ooh.
Yeah, pretty nice, eh?
Yeah.
Scary textures, but we'll worry about textures in just a sec. So let's zoom out. Now let's create another brush. And we'll set this guy to, 288, 768, and maybe 320. We want the width to be really high because it's going to be a corridor.
Right. And if there are some of you out there who are maybe wondering, this isn't a weapon design level, weapon design issue, what are they doing? Well, we're just trying to set up a really nice level that we can use to show off some of these Karma actors.
That's right.
And so if you're following along, you'll be able to set up the exact same level and follow right along with what we're doing. So there you go.
Well, thanks for spitting that out.
There you go, and we're almost done, really.
Right, we are. Let's just move this guy up a little bit and cut that guy. Alright, there we have it. And what we're going to do is, just looking at it, isn't it nice? We're going to put a lamp right there.
Okay.
A light that kind of dangles down. And right on this side, we're going to put the soon-to-be-made fan and trapdoor.
Okay, cool.
So let's really quickly, go in here to our texture browser and apply some cool-looking textures. So under Abandoned Architecture, however you say that, we're going to... Yeah, I know, it's a little bit confusing.
No big deal.
So let's go over to here, select our floors, and let's put on that one. That's kind of cool looking.
Nice rock-looking tile.
Right, and let's select all our walls. Yep, let's go into here. We're going to make it sort of gothic-y looking.
I never pictured you as the goth type.
I know. It's inbred into me.
Yeah, I should have known with all the black nail polish and stuff.
Yeah, I thought I was hiding that away. You know about it?
Yeah, you leave that stuff laying around, man.
Oh, man. I gotta be more careful.
Yep.
Okay, so let's go up into ceilings. And let's select this guy.
I'd be worried, but problem is he's actually painting his toenails with it.
Thank you, Zach, for letting everyone know about that. Let's select this guy. And let's apply that. So there's our level.
Alright.
Yes, let's get started. No more level building. So we're going to put the lamp right here. So the first thing we're going to need is to actually create a joint.
Okay.
And what a joint really is it's a constraint that's going to hold the K actors to a point.
Okay.
Or a or 2 K actors to a point.
Sure.
So let's go up into our actor browser, and under K actor, K constraint, we'll select KVS joint.
Oh, right.
So with that selected, let's right click on our surface and push add KVS joint here. So this is where our lamp is going to be placed.
Okay, that's where it's actually going to be bolted to the ceiling.
That's right. So let's move that guy well, let's not select our brush. Let's move this guy into place right about there. Try not to be too picky. It's a little bit hard, you know.
Yeah, I understand.
And let's select this guy and push Shift D to duplicate it.
Right.
And Shift D again to duplicate it once more.
So 3 joints.
That's right. So we're going to have one chain here between these two, another chain here, and at the very end we're going to have our light.
Cool.
So let's go into our static mesh browser, and we're going to select our chains so that we can create our actors.
All right.
Just like we did with the barrels.
Sure.
So let's go down and select short chain 1. As you can see, this is a chain. That's kind of cool. It's going to be hanging there.
Right. Looks like a chain to me.
Yeah. So let's close that out and right click on our surface, and add Karma actor. So that's actually added our chain. And let's put that into position. We don't really have to have the joints touching the actor, but it kind of makes sense because you want the actors to hinge at the right spots.
Exactly. So that joint is going to be working kind of like a pivot point for this constraint.
That's right. So let's move this guy into place, and let's duplicate the chain and move that down right below this other joint.
Gotta love that Shift D.
Yes, you gotta love it. And let's move that into place. Let's move all of these guys into place, actually. So they're all lined up together.
Wow,
right.
It's pretty cool that you're doing that from a top view. I would have done it from a side and a front.
Yeah, I know. I'm special.
You are very special.
Okay. So there we have it. We have all the necessary. Well, actually, there's one more thing: is our light. Almost
yeah, I was
forgot
gonna
our
say
light.
this is looking pretty barren with just a chain hanging here.
Yeah,
man.
I know. It could go without a light, but a light without a light just doesn't seem right.
A light without a light just doesn't seem right. That's like a jingle.
Yeah, I know. So right under AW hardware, we'll
Quotable quote for the day.
That's
a
right.
light without a light just doesn't seem right. Brought to you by Joel Van Enwick.
Oh yeah. So right down here we have the SH Light 01. And
Cool.
select that, and that's cool looking light there.
Yeah?
Now let's create another actor. So let's right click and add Karma actor. And he's definitely not in the right position, so let's move him around just a bit. Definitely move him down. And right about there looks good.
Looks like it's at the end of the chain to me.
And let's move both of these chains over one. Let's turn on the run up here so that we can see an update in all the views. And let's move this guy over just one more so that he's lined up with the light.
Okay.
And let's move this guy over one too. So
much nicer.
yeah, it's much nicer. So now that is really all the objects that we need to create this simulation.
Okay.
All we need to do now is go into the joints and actually set up the properties necessary.
Sure.
So let's go up to this first joint here. Double click to bring up its properties. And let's go down to Karma Constraint. Open this guy up, and here we have a few properties that need to be set to actually get the whole reaction set up.
All right.
This first option, BK Disable Collision. When that's set to true, the objects that are related to the simulation are not going to collide with each other.
Well, yeah, because you've disabled their collisions.
Right, and if it's false, it's going to have collisions.
Right.
So let's actually set that to false, because we do kind of want collisions. Let's select all of the joints and change that real quick.
Well, I almost got to wonder, if it's really necessary to have them colliding, because we really got to swing the heck out of this lamp to make these guys collide.
That's true, but better be safe than sorry.
Okay. At least it gives you a chance to show off another parameter.
That's true. So let's go over to our K Constraint Actor 1. Now this is really, really important. You have to set these up, otherwise the joint really doesn't know who it's constraining or who it's constraining to.
Sure.
So let's go to the first one, and let's change this guy to the first chain here. So this first guy right here.
Mm-hmm.
Click Find to choose that one. And this is going to select our K Actor My Level K Actor 9, which is the first chain.
Which is the chain.
And if we leave K Constraint Actor 2 set to none, then it's going to be constrained to the world or the level.
Okay, so that's what's going to actually bolt our chain into place, so to speak.
That's right. Otherwise, if we first ran this without setting up any joints at all, every chain would fall to the ground independently.
Oh, cool.
So let's go.
Wait a minute, not cool.
Well, no, that wouldn't actually do the effect, but it'd still be interesting.
Yeah.
So let's go over here and let's select the next joint. And in this case, we are going to have both constraint actors set.
Okay.
Because we want the top chain to be connected to the bottom chain at the point where our KBS joint is located.
Right.
So let's click Find. We could use just type in a name, but it's a whole lot easier.
So much faster and easier.
That's right. So let's go down here and click this one.
Just make sure you click the right thing.
That's right. Don't want to select a brush. That doesn't really work.
Will it actually let you select a brush?
It will, but
Wow.
it doesn't work.
Oh, okay. I got you.
So let's press Find. Let's select this guy. After you actually see it, it makes a whole lot of sense.
Sure, you're basically just creating a hierarchy within here so that, the bottom lamp is connected to the first chain, which is connected to the second chain, which is connected to the ceiling.
That's right.
Wow, I actually got all that out in one go. That was impressive.
That's impressive, Zach.
Yeah.
So now they're all connected up. It's looking pretty good. So let's test this out and see how it looks. Oh, one more thing. What are we missing, Zach?
I think we need to rebuild our lights, Ben.
Well, let's actually do that.
Or add a light anyway, because it's probably going to be pretty dark over here in this hallway.
Oh, look at that. It's
Look, I
dark.
said it right before it snapped over.
Yeah, sure.
Or
So-
just barely right before. Never mind. Anyway.
Yeah. So let's add a light right here. So that brightens it up a whole lot.
I was just testing to make sure you knew to add a light. That's what it was.
Sure you did.
Yes.
So let's add another light here. That's actually kind of a little bit too bright. This is not really giving us extremely accurate lighting, but let's turn this down a little bit. We want to give it kind of a dark, gloomy feel. Again, this is not a level designing class, but
you just can't stop Bingo from being picky.
yeah, you really can't. So let's delete this light. Actually, I'm sorry. Let's turn this light down just a little bit to something like 48. I don't want it to be quite so bright.
Quite so right.
So bright.
So
Excuse me.
bright.
I know.
Okay.
So.
A light without a light just wouldn't seem right. I can't get over that. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But
Enough fun.
that's almost as good as flipping off the barrels.
That's almost as good as that one. So let's build our lights one more time, and let's actually run the level.
Okay.
Waiting for it to start up.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
Alright, so we got our level here. Let's see if this actually works.
Okay.
Play.
Countdown and we spawn in. First thing we do is go grab the shock rifle.
That's right. And let's go over here,
Zach's playing the part of the announcer.
and look at that. The top chain is actually connected to the world, just
Awesome.
what we want. The middle joint is connecting the top two chains, and the last joint is connecting the one chain and the light together.
Sweet.
Very cool.
Very cool. So why don't you go ahead and give that a couple of shots.
Look at this.
It's actually spinning.
You can actually shoot the side of it and get it spinning.
Check it out. Centrifugal motion.
Yeah, it's too cool.
I'll be the announcer. Holy. Oh, never mind. I shouldn't say that. I'm sorry.
Yes, you definitely should avoid saying that. And so we got our hall going here, we got our lights, and we got our really cool lamp hanging here. So,
Ultra kill.
yeah, that's very good, Zach.
Oh, sorry. I just can't help myself. You give me a microphone and I just start saying stuff.
Yeah, I know.
All right. So.
So actually, let's check this one out. Let's make sure our barrels are actually looking right.
All right.
And you might find something surprising here. So let's shoot this guy. And actually, it's working nicely.
Yeah.
So we got our lights are working pretty nicely, and we got a really cool looking light here. So
Except that our barrels are kind of sliding around like they're on ice.
that's true. Why don't we just exit real quick and fix that out?
Yeah, because it's kind of crawling around like the floor's covered in grease, and that's just kind of scary.
Yeah, it is kind of scary. So let's move over here.
It's a possessed barrel.
That's kind of scary. So let's go into our karma.
I need a young priest and an old priest. Of course, what a priest would be doing in a level like this, I really don't know.
I don't know. Gothic
That
level.
would be scary. Yeah.
So let's go into our K friction. Let's set it to something like, I don't know, 0.2. That's
Okay.
sort of realistic. And barrels don't really bounce a whole lot, so maybe we can set this to 0.01 just to give it just a little bit of a
it depends
bounce.
on what the barrel's full of,
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's go to the bottom barrel and set up the same options. Let's set this
You
to
guys,
0.2.
you should have been on the other side of the camera, folks. Joel just gave me a look like, well, at least the barrel's not full of what you're full of.
Right. That's actually what I was thinking.
I'm sure.
So, actually, the barrels are probably looking a whole lot better right now. And let's go over here real quick, and let's change one of these options around just so you can see how exactly the properties
Sure.
affect these.
I mean, now that we've seen how this system works and we've got our lamp swinging around on its chains, let's adjust some of the parameters a little bit to tweak how it's behaving.
Right, so let's go into our bottom lamp, and the bottom lamp can actually have quite a bit of mass. The chains, on the other hand, should have a very small mass. So let's set this to maybe, I don't know, 0.7.
Okay.
And the top two chains can be something like 0.2, and the very topmost one can be something like 0.2.
All right.
So the lamp should be swinging a whole lot more than it did just a second ago. So let's not right-click. And let's rebuild our lights really quick. And let's run our level and see the differences and how they really affect our scene.
Okie dokie.
So loading up our scene. Almost there.
Right, and we're here.
Play.
Alright, grab the shock rifle. Let's see those barrels first.
Oh, okay. Got a little ahead of
I
myself.
love the barrels. Just gotta check this out. Oh, much more realistic.
Oh, look at that. They kind of stop.
No longer crawling across the ground. I love it. Sliding a little bit, but that's not bad. I mean, it's getting hit with a shock rifle, you
That's
know?
right. I mean, shock rifles are pretty powerful.
Yeah, I guess. I haven't shot one in a while, but there you go.
Yeah. So let's shoot this guy, and you'll see that it is swinging a whole lot more than it was just a second ago. Look at that. So you can actually get some really crazy light effects if you set the mass really low. I mean, it'll start swinging everywhere.
Did you notice you can actually burn the light cone? I thought that was pretty cool the first time I saw it. The first time I ever saw it, I thought that the light was malfunctioning or something. I thought I'd broken something. It turns out it's just like char marks on the light cone itself because that's actual geometry. So yeah, we got some really cool swinging going on. It's just kind of sitting there wobbling,
Yeah,
just like it would if it were at the end of a chain.
Exactly.
So that's awesome.
So, I mean, that really wraps up this lesson because we covered how a joint works, how we set up the different properties inside of it.
Yep.
So with that wraps up this lesson.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.